this video, I'm going to show you how to use AI to build out any automation in seconds. So if you're tired of building out workflows on your own in N8N here, having to add up all these manual tabs, chat trigger, etc. If you're tired of building out manual workflows, then this video is for you. Okay? With this, you have to build out all of the entire workflow for yourself. And with AI, I'm going to show you how you can do it automatically. Okay? So let's get rid of the manual building part here. And I will show you how you can build a workflow and get 80% of the way done with just copy and pasting. All right? So let's go to this template here. And what we're going to do, this is a template that somebody else has built. And with this system, we can copy over this template. Just take a screenshot. I'm going to throw this into our N8N Workflow Builder in Claude. And I will say, I need you to give me the file for N8N for this N8N workflow. Okay, and it is going to use Claude and give us some code and eventually give us a JSON file, and we will upload that JSON file to N8N, and it will get us 80 to 90% of the way there. And so now, guys, you don't actually have to build out from scratch. You can just tell Claude what you want through a screenshot and then do some tweaking as well, and it will get you a lot closer and give you some more ideas of how to build this automation in the first place. All right, so Claude is just still building it out here. Give it a bit of time. Looking at the workflow diagram, I can see this is content automation. Okay, so it finished it. This workflow, JSON recreates the exact flow shown in your diagram. Okay, so you'll download this and we'll come over and we will import from file. And there you go. Okay, so this is very similar to this last workflow. We got the get content ideas from Google Sheets, generate posts with OpenAI, post to Twitter, update to Google Sheet. Okay, so we've got get content ideas, and we'll have to add in our own Google Sheet there. But we have generate posts with OpenAI, check platform, post to Twitter. It added in a success data edit field node right here, and then update Google Sheets. So we were missing the first one here, but it got us 80 to 90% of the way there. And so that is what I'm going to show you how to do today. Okay. So first thing I'm going to tell you is that all this information is in the Skool here. And if you want to join and just be able to copy and paste all of this stuff and read through the instructions, then you can do that as well. But first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Claude AI and you will fill this out. You'll download Claude, and then we will come over to projects. All right. And then we're going to create ourselves a new project, and we'll just name this N8N Workflow Automatic Builder, and we can just create this. All right. And then the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to give it a system prompt. Okay, so we're going to come here, set project instructions, and we're going to need to tell it what we want it to do. So I have this prompt right here that I'm going to give you. And so this, I have went over and tweaked. And this will allow Claude to know that we want to get the JSON file from it. And so we want to build out those N8N automations. And one part that I added here and I was having troubles with is this part right here, which actually gets it to output in a JSON format for us, where a lot of the other prompts I put in, it would not do that, and you would have to do some messing around with it afterwards. And so this will allow us to actually get the JSON output. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through this, and you can copy this and just enter that into your project instructions. And this is similar to just a system prompt. Okay, so copy that over or head over to the Skool and download it for free. We're going to save these instructions. And next thing we're going to do is download Github Documentation. And so we're going to come over here to GitHub, and we will actually see that I have it all downloaded here. And so what you're going to want to do is you come and click GitHub, you sign into GitHub, okay? And then what you need to do is actually download the documentation. The reason you're going to download the documentation is so it understands all of the format and all of the nodes and everything like that, so it's actually able to build out proper workflows. If you don't have this and you just prompt the system and tell it what you want, the outputs are going to be a lot worse than if you have this documentation. So we want to get this documentation and import it into our code system, and it will have this to reference every single time. So you're going to go to github.com/n8n/io/n8n docs. Okay, so you copy this over, and what you're going to do now is come back to GitHub. You have to sign into GitHub, and then you'll add a link. Okay, and so you're going to paste that link in, and you're going to click enter here, and now your Claude system has access to all of these documentations at all time, and you can actually remove some of these and even add more documentation after. But this is going to really help you get those automations to, you know, be a lot closer to what your actual idea was, or the template that you're actually trying to copy. If you don't do this, you might have a bit of a harder time. Okay, and so after this, it is fairly simple. You need to add some workflows. So what I do is I come over and I go upload from device, and I'm just going to add in not the template that we're copying, right? We're gonna add in some extra workflows that I already have built, and so this way it knows what correct workflows look like. For doing marketing, just have 4 different marketing workflows. Okay, if you're doing something like if you're trying to create a Gmail template, then you want to add in a bunch of Gmail workflows here. A LinkedIn agent. Okay, so now that we have this, what I'm going to do is do the exact same thing that I did before, and I'm going to come over to n8n.io, and they have a template section, and you can find a bunch of free templates here that people have already built, and you can just screenshot this and bring it over. Okay, and I will ask it for that file. Can you build me out this workflow for N8N? And now we're just going to let Claude build out the workflow, and it's going to give us the code here. Okay, so we'll let it do its thing here, and then we're going to come over and we're going to upload this into here. And while we're waiting for that code, we will come and look for another workflow here. So let's just look for something fairly simple. Okay, let's just take this. We're going to screenshot that and add that in and see how good Claude does with actually giving us that workflow. So we're almost done with the code here. And so the reason I have this documentation in my Skool is because that code at the bottom, which is right here, I'm actually going to put this up for you guys. With this code here, if you see right here, I've added all of this text here, and I tweaked with Claude for a while to get this to actually output the correct JSON format. And so without this and without all the proper documentation, if you're just telling it what you want to do, you're not going to get great outputs, and that's why I have that there. So we have the code now. Let's download as a JSON, and it is in our downloads folder, and we will upload this. Okay, and then here we go. It's a little bit different now, but it got us 80% of the way there, and it actually gave us some notes here to go off of. So get content ideas. It didn't get to generate posts with AI. Check platform, post to Twitter, update to Google Sheet. So it did a little bit of a mix up here, but that's okay, as long as we get the correct idea. And then we change this to OpenAI. So it got us pretty much all the way there. And next we're going to copy this one over. And you saw that it actually imported right away. And that's the problem I was having and why I added all that text. So this is huge, just with that, being able to add it with the JSON file right away. Let's take this one, and we're actually going to add this over into Claude, and we'll ask it the same thing. Build out this N8N workflow for me. So this one is just a chat message receive connected to an AI agent. It's got a LLM and a memory, and then SERP API, which is a Google search tool. So this should be fairly simple for it to pump out here. All right, so here is Claude. It's giving us the output, and this workflow recreates your AI agent, chat system with the following components, gives us all the components. Let's see how good it does. We'll download this as a JSON, and we will just scrap this workflow. Let's open this up and import from file. Let's just see. Download as a JSON content workflow. Okay, it's the same. It's the same file name. So let's import this. Import from file. Content workflow 2, JSON. And let's see what it gives us here. So I do like the notes that it's giving us. If I could only move them. Okay, so it's giving us, it's actually telling us what everything does, which is actually pretty good, especially if you're just new to building workflows. Let's see what it's missing. So it's got the Google search, it's got the chat model, when chat message received, okay. And so we'll have to change this. We would just change this over to a chat trigger, depending on what you're using. And what else was it missing? SERP API, and this respond we don't need. And so this was the actual workflow. Okay, so we just need to change one thing and delete something on the end. This got us pretty close to what that template was. So that is the build, and like I said, you can come to my Skool and download all of my free templates as well as the instructions from today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.